Welcome to the third series of Module 2 on brand marketing for the students of LG Integrated MBA Semester 9. I, Dr. Susmita Suggala, in this session will be discussing brand elements. In the previous two sessions of Module 2, we have been discussing how to identify and establish brand positioning, how brand mantras are defined, designed and implemented, which enhances brand positioning. And now we are here to discuss about brand elements. Brand elements, these are trademarkable devices which helps to identify and differentiate the products. Now, the main aim of brand elements is to enhance brand awareness and to facilitate the unique and favorable brand associations. Now, the main brand elements are shown in the diagram, that is brand names. These names could be anything like Godrej, Colgate, Dell, Apple, Google, and many more that you are aware. URLs, these are the uniform resource locator or the domain names. Now the companies generally buy these names because that would become a mark of identification for them. Logos, these are strong word marks like Coca-Cola or Kit Kat. It could be some symbols or signs like the Olympic rings. It could be the Nike swoosh. It could be the symbol of Audi. Now, the characters, something like Ronald McDonald or the pink bunny of Energizers. Now, there could be some very popular slogans and jingles, packages, and signages. The criteria for choosing a brand element is again shown in the diagram that you could see in the pink portion. It talks about being memorable, meaningful, likable, transferable, adaptable, and protectable. Now, as you can see, the first three criteria, that is the memorability, the meaningful, and the likable, all these three together are building a marketer's offensive strategy. This is for building a brand which focuses on building a brand equity. That means that if the brand elements are memorable, meaningful and likable, then there is more chances that they will be easily recognized by most of the customers, which in turn will build a better brand equity or a higher brand equity, and it will simultaneously reduce the burden of the marketers and thereby reduce the cost of marketing, communications and the various other activities related to it. The latter three, that is transferable, adaptable and protectable, these play as the defensive strategy or the defensive role for maintaining and leveraging the brand equity, which obviously it occurs in different situations. The next question that comes is how to choose brand elements. What is the selection criteria? So like we just discussed, the selection criteria here would be being memorable, meaningful, likable, at the same time transferable, adaptable and protectable. Let us see what each one of them individually means or how it adds on to the value of the brand equity. The first criteria for choosing brand elements is that the element should be memorable. Now, memorable means getting attention to that particular brand element or to facilitate recognition and recall of a brand during the purchase process or whenever there is a consumption requirement. Now these are generally short brand names which are usually easily memorized and recalled by a large percentage of customers. In short, we can summarize them as elements which can be easily recognized, easily recalled, which has a high level of brand awareness, attention seekers, for example, Puma Panther. Even if you see the panther, you are able to easily recognize and recall that it is Puma Panther. So you would see that there are two diagrams, but the moment you would have seen the panther, you could have related that it is a Puma Panther. Similarly with LG. LG means life's good, but the moment you see LG, you are able to correlate to what it stands for. It is memorizable. It is easily recalled. It is easily recognized. The second criteria is being meaningful. Here, the marketers need to ensure that the brand elements taken on either descriptive or persuasive meanings along in their names. Now, this could be general information about the nature of the product, category, or specific information about that particular attribute or benefit of the brand. Now, this is important to develop awareness and recognition for the brand. A few examples of meaningful brand elements. This could be Fair and Lovely Cream, Singapore Airlines, Muscle Man, Close Up, Toothpaste, or FedEx Couriers. The meaning is descriptive of the product and persuasive in some, like Fair and Lovely. The third criteria for choosing is likability. Now, in this criteria, it is easily understood by the simple question: do the customers find the brand elements appealing? A general question. So, brand elements here, it is a need to be fun and interesting. They also need to be visually rich, or you can say it is rich with verbal images, aesthetically appealing, pleasing to the target customers. Now, the intangible aspects of a brand, these capture the characteristics of a brand, like in Air India. You can see the image in the slide. The importance noticed here is that there is lesser dependence on the communication to build brand awareness when the brand elements are descriptive and persuasive by themselves. A few more examples of likable brand elements are Vodafone Zuzu's, Heineken packaging, or you could say Air India. The fourth criteria is transferability. This means the extent to which brand elements can enhance brand equity to new products of the brand in the line extensions, or in other way you can say that the brand elements can be used to introduce new products in the same or different categories. It also means that to what extent brand elements are able to improve brand equity across the geographical boundaries and market segments. Now, if I take the example of apple and blackberry, as the name represents fruits, thus they don't restrict the brand and product extensions in any way. You can use it across different product categories. Similarly with Amazon and Exxon, it can be extended to any product category or segment. Now, to understand the importance, just let us see a few global mishaps which have taken place in transferring the brand names. Clairol introduced Mystic, meaning a slang in the German language. Similarly, Pepsi, a very well-known brand, the slogan of Pepsi, it says, brings you back to life. In Chinese, this means that Pepsi brings your ancestors back to life. Now, these show us that sometimes across boundaries, the particular slogan or the brand are not transferred in the right way. Whereas for Apple, BlackBerry, Amazon, now there is no restriction when you are transferring that brand to any new product category, line extensions, or across the boundaries or the geographical borders. The fifth criteria for choosing brand elements is adaptability. Now, this is the extent to which the brand elements can be adapted over time. Consumer perceptions, opinions, and preferences, these keep changing over time. Generally, the more flexible the brand element, the easier it is to update from time to time to synchronize with the consumer preferences and the trends. The logos and characters can be given slightly a new look and feel to make them appear more modern and relevant. For example, Coca-Cola has been consistently updating its logos over the years to synchronize with the latest trends and opinions. The other more commonly cited examples are Betty Crocker. Now, as you can see that the image, or you can see the photo or the face of Betty Crocker since 1936 onwards has been changing almost every decade. Now this has been adapting to the changing role of women with the times. She has received a makeover to match the qualities of the women in that particular age or the decade. You can also see how Coca-Cola has adapted over the period of time. The sixth criteria for choosing elements is protectability. This is the extent to which the brand elements can be protected legally and competitively. Now, brand elements need to be chosen in such a way that they can be internationally protected or registered with appropriate legal bodies so that no one else is able to take away your distinction that you have created with the quality of the product, the value that you are giving, or the services that you are providing for the same. Now, these need to be defended through these trademarks from unauthorized competitive infringements, especially from counterfeit products, fake, bogus, phony products. So tactics for brand elements needs to be discussed. The tactics for brand elements. Now, brand names, these as a very important choice as it captures the main theme and the key associations in a compact and an economical fashion. Now, this is important because it needs to be comprehended by the customer. This is chosen for brand recognition as well as brand recall. Therefore, it should be simple. It should be easy. The spelling and pronunciation should be easy. So this makes it easy for the customer to comprehend. For example, Big Pens, Budweiser's. Chevy was used as a short for Chevrolet. This eases out the process to remember and process the brand name. Secondly, The familiarity and meaningfulness to tap the existing knowledge structures about that particular brand, as the names are already in the customer's minds, hence less learning to remember and understand the names. For example, Fiesta. People already know that there is a Ford, so Ford Fiesta. Differentiated and distinctiveness. This gives again some unique words for recallability. Example, Toys R Us, Apple Computers. In brand associations, the brand name is a compact form of communication which communicates both the implicit and the explicit meaning. Hence, the associations are an important attribute. Example, Make My Trip, Flipkart, Snapdeal. Now, while naming a name, there is a process that generally is followed while choosing that name. The first is to define an objective. Second is to generate multiple names. Then you screen out from those names a few names that you would like to choose. Then study the candidate names, each one of them, how it is going to affect. Then research the final candidate because you have selected a few, and from them you are going to find out that this would not be affecting across boundaries, across categories, and then finally you choose that. A few more benefits of using these brand elements. Now if we look at URLs, this is a uniform resource locator. Now example, this is a space on the web, a domain name. This is done for protecting brands and preventing unauthorized use of cyber squatting. Similarly, logos and symbols. Example, Nike, the swoosh of a Nike, the Olympic rings. Now these are non-verbal, versatile, easily recognizable. Hence people are able to easily remember them. Characters. Example, the Energizer Bunny. This is generally for brand recognition. Here it is to draw attention to create brand awareness and break through the clutter. Transferable across product categories and easily form relationships. Slogans. Example, the city never sleeps. Now, hungry, grab a Snicker. Now these are chosen to enhance brand recall and brand recognition. This creates brand awareness, unique positioning for the brand. Jingles. Example, for KitKat or for Titan. These are chosen to enhance brand recall and recognition. Whenever you hear the jingle, you are immediately able to recall that. This is a musical messages around the brand to enhance that brand awareness relating to the feelings and other intangibles. Packaging and signages. These are generally more useful for brand recognition. For example, like Chic shampoo, this was a revolutionary. This is a revolutionary because the packaging was very innovative. Initially, this was taken as for the urban rich, or you could say a luxury item. But the Chic shampoo, the packaging was designed in a way that it would be presented in sachets, and the bottom of the pyramid could use this, an opportunity for them to use. So packaging at that point of purchase, it creates a strong appeal on the store shelf, and it also helps to understand that brand and see that it stands out in the clutter. Now designs of the packagings are important as it gives the shelf impact and visual effect to stand out. Generally, this change in packaging, this signals sometimes higher price to sell. Whenever there is a product line expansion, then obviously the packaging changes to tell you that this belongs to that. You want to replace an older package which looks outdated, then also you get an opportunity to do thereof. We can therefore conclude that the entire set of brand elements, this makes up the brand identity, the contribution of all brand elements to awareness. And the books which have been used for the preparation of the session are, as mentioned,